Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and earlier today, DICE released their official patch notes for their upcoming Aftermath DLC. There's a fair amount of information here. A lot of it is some bug fixes, but some other stuff that I think you guys are really going to be interested in, so let's just kind of delve on in here. So the first thing, apparently DICE is addressing the input lag issues on the PlayStation 3, and I don't own a PS3, I only play on PC, but I've heard that the input lag is very frustrating. And is this the same input lag that people have been complaining about since the Back to Karkin expansion pack came out, or maybe even before that? Because if that is the case, then shame on DICE. Like, that's ridiculous if it's taken them over a year to address the input lag issues. I could be completely wrong. I mean, like I said, I don't play on the PS3. If you are a PS3 user, let me know if I am mistaken, and maybe this is just a small issue affecting a couple of people. I can't really see how that would be the case, considering that it's the same game on the same system, but, you know, I could be wrong, so let me know in the comment section below. They're also going in and making a couple of small weapon balance changes, and the one that you guys are probably going to be most interested in is that they're increasing the first shot and horizontal recoil slightly of the M416, and the reason why they are doing this is that they want to make the choice between the M16A3 and the M416 a little bit more interesting. And I find this to be fairly amusing because they nerfed the M16A3 to put it more in line with the other weapons, and then they buffed the M416 for whatever reason, I guess to make it more distinct from the M16, and it basically just shifted everyone into the direction of that gun, and now everyone uses the M416. And so now they're finally going, it just looks like they cannot figure out what they want to do with these two weapons, and they just cannot land on a happy medium. I hope that this will make things more interesting and it will balance things out a bit, but I don't really think it's going to change much, and people are still going to run with both of those weapons as their primaries. So it also looks like they are going to slightly reduce the horizontal recoil of the L85A2. I don't really use this weapon all that often. I mean, it's decent for medium to long range engagements, but I find other weapons like the G3A3 or the AK to be better just all around guns, and so maybe this will bump it up in its effectiveness and make it easier to take out and stay on target for those long range engagements. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see, so I think that's a solid change. But one of the best changes, I think, is that they are going to be slightly reducing the horizontal recoil of the FAMAS, and I think this is a good thing. I don't think it's going to make it overpowered by any means. I just think that it's going to make it a little bit better and make it a more viable option, because as of right now, the FAMAS is just absolutely atrocious. I don't even see anyone running with it, and if I do get killed by it, I'm like, hats off to you, buddy. You deserve that kill because you are using a terrible weapon. So I don't know what slightly reduced means, but I don't think it's going to be drastic by any means. Well, I guess that's what means slightly is. But hopefully it will make it a little bit more viable, and we'll see more people running with the FAMAS. Another cool weapon balance change is that they are going to be reducing the recoil of the Type 88 LMG so that it compares more to the M249. I like this. I never use the Type 88. I think it's one of the worst LMGs out there, and I'm glad it's finally getting a little loving, and maybe I will make a couple of videos with it just to try it out, because as of right now, it is a terrible, terrible gun. There are a couple more weapon balance changes, but I'm not going to talk about them in today's video. If you would like to check out the full patch notes, to check that out at your leisure, I will leave a link down below in the description. But up next, they are also going to be making some really nice changes to the gunship that I think are way overdue. I mean, DICE has been, over the couple of months, over the couple of patch notes that we've had since we got Armored Kill, they've been trying to balance the gunship on game modes like Rush. I mean, if you remember when when Armored Kill just came out, Rush was just an absolute mess. The gunship was way too overpowered, and I still think it's just way too overpowered on that particular game mode. I mean, they have made some changes, which has made it a little bit less of a headache when you're on defense, but it's still just a little bit too crazy. So what they are doing to change it is that they are removing basically the night vision scope on the main cannon, which essentially allowed you to acquire targets extremely easy when you're up in the sky, and just kind of pepper the enemy spawn for days and get hundreds of kills. I even made a video, even after all of the patch changes, to try to make the AC-130 less of a nuisance on Rush. I was still able to get like 100 kills, which is ridiculous. And so I think this is a fantastic change. It's going to make it a lot harder for you to figure out where the enemies are. Granted, you're still going to be able to use the spot mechanic and spot everyone down below, but you're not going to be able to see everyone as like a glowing white figure down below on the battlefield. And so I think this is a good change, and it might even get me to go play some Rush on the Armored Kill maps, which I haven't had the pleasure to do for quite some time. So other than that, those are all of the large changes for the Aftermath DLC. Everything else is just some small bug fixes and stuff along those lines. I'm really excited for Aftermath. I think it's going to breathe a lot of life into Battlefield 3. I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you guys excited as I am? Let me know in the comments below. But that's about it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, or just want to support my channel, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.